Gay marriage has been a widely dealt with topic throughout U.S. history as LGBTQ couples have struggled with marital recognition. This means that same-sex couples in the United States don't receive the same marriage benefits that straight couples do, and were failed to be legally recognized through marriage until 2015. Although there are 20 million Americans that identify as LGBTQ+, more than half in the U.S. and about 83% worldwide keep their sexual identity hidden. This is a result of lack of representation, homophobia, stigmas, and most importantly, unequal marriage laws. Although gay marriage is common, same-sex couples in the U.S. deal with injustice daily as they've struggled with legal recognition and face homophobia throughout history. Beginning in 1924, the Society for Human Rights was the first recorded LGBTQ rights organization in the U.S. Founded in Chicago by activist Henry Gerber, the organization aimed to, quote, protect the interests of people who, by reasons of mental and physical abnormalities, are abused and hindered in the legal pursuit of happiness, as well as to, quote, combat the public prejudice. At this time, gay marriage was more of a far-off thought as the organization simply strived for equality. In other words, LGBTQ members had to hide their identity to avoid getting assaulted or arrested. Although the organization was short-lived and quickly disbanded in 1925, it inspired movements in the 50s and 60s and began the road towards equal marriage laws in the U.S. Jump to 2022, and same-sex marriage is now legal in all 50 states due to the 2015 court case Obergefell v. Hodges, which we'll get back to in a minute. Now, as of today, same-sex marriage is legal in all 50 states, but 13 states still have statutory bans that are yet to be repealed for being unconstitutional. These policies result in same-sex couples not receiving the same marriage benefits as straight couples, policies which are actively being fought for revocation. Furthermore, these 13 states were the only states where gay marriage was still banned before Obergefell v. Hodges. Getting back to one of the most monumental court cases, Obergefell v. Hodges was brought to the Supreme Court in 2015 after the death of John Author, James Obergefell's husband. When the state of Ohio refused to recognize him as a spouse on his partner's death certificate, Obergefell brought it to court, leading to a lawsuit and a handful of other same-sex couples coming forward with complaints that challenged unequal marriage laws. They argue that same-sex marriage bans were unconstitutional, as this was before same-sex marriage was legalized, and that these bans violated the Equal Protection Clause that fell under the 14th Amendment. 59 days later, the case that pushed for marriage equality has won. Supreme Court favored Obergefell, ruling that same-sex couples have the right to marry. Ending the case, Justice Anthony Kennedy stated, "The right to marry is a fundamental right inherent in the liberty of a person, and is now heavily quoted." Once again, this is a huge milestone. In 2013, just 2 years before Obergefell v. Hodges, a similar case called the United States v. Windsor was brought to court. This case declared that the Defense of Marriage Act, DOMA, was unconstitutional by violating the Fifth Amendment. Passed by Congress September 21, 1996, DOMA only recognized marriages between male and female. As a result, this prevented LGBTQ couples from benefits such as joint tax returns, inheritance, spouse employment benefits, marriage recognition, and many more. This resulted in 40 states introducing same-sex marriage bans, meaning that same-sex marriage wasn't illegal in each state, but benefits such as adopting a child and many more were banned for same-sex couples. However, the case was won and DOMA was overruled. Now, 2022, the number of openly identifying LGBTQ citizens has been rising, as the number has risen from 14.6% from the traditional generation to Gen Z, a 50-year age gap. In addition to this, in June 2020, 67% of 15,000 Americans interviewed claimed to support gay marriage, a number that has almost doubled since the same poll in 2012. Although it's not 100%, there's still been phenomenal progress, specifically due to the winning of Obergefell v. Hodges. Over 18 years, same-sex marriage has gone from being banned to legal in all 50 U.S. states. To conclude, America has wrestled with LGBTQ rights throughout history, with parades, protests, rallies, and organizations to protect inequality surrounding federal laws, specifically gay marriage. Over the years, laws have improved with each movement. Although same-sex marriage has been accomplished, there are things that still need to be achieved, such as addressing LGBTQ laws in other countries and expanding their rights in the U.S. Although same-sex couples have earned legal recognition in the U.S., this is just the beginning.